Well, welcome to our program, Coach to Coach. Today's guest is Helen Makepeace. Helen is one of my peers from Jamie Smart's Thriving Coaches Blueprint program. So thank you, Helen, for joining us today. It's so nice to see you. And the way I like to start these off is just by asking you what first sparked your interest in coaching.
It's a bit strange, that one. Basically, I've done it all my life, but nobody ever paid me for it.
Right.
And I actually said, I work as a nanny, and I actually said to one of my mothers of a special needs child, I said, I need to find a way that I can get paid for helping people solve their problems. That was probably 20 years ago now. And we sort of went, yeah, how can you do that kind of thing? And then I was furloughed from my job last year. Lockdown happened, nothing to do, and I found a course for NLP for $7.
I've seen that on Instagram.
Yeah. So I bought it. I thought, right, what the hell, $7? It's no loss if it's rubbish. If it's absolute garbage, it's not. Doesn't matter. It's $7, and it was amazing. Yeah. It was a full NLP course that he sells for hundreds and hundreds, but he just thought, well, I've done all the work. People do their own manual, print it off. So just $7 off, 1,000 people is $7,000. Well, selling one at $1,000 or whatever is, and that's only 1,000. So I think there's quite a few people who've done that. And then he says the real reason he was doing it for a lost leader was a 3 Ps course. So I went, I really like this guy. I like the idea. So I did the 3 Ps course. And the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah.
I then found Jamie, and
yeah.
That's
it's funny because I first discovered NLP through Jamie. Because I mentioned earlier, 2008, I got into real estate, and I took a course, and the guy doing that course, his name's Joe Stumpf, and he's in California. And anyway, in his CD collection or whatever that I got in the mail, he had an interview with Jamie, and Jamie was talking about all this NLP stuff about how to handle clients' objections and so on. And I don't know, just the Jamie's just mesmerizing, right? So I started following him and bought some of his CDs. And then here I am 13 years later, finally converting and buying his course and stuff. And like you said, the rest is history. So it's interesting how NLP is like a gateway into coaching and into now the 3 principles. So it's cool. Yeah. So you mentioned being a nanny. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's so much about NLP. It's like my client today, and I knew she was. We have good rapport anyway, but I knew that she was trying to. Sorry, my iPad's going all over the place. I knew that she had issues with what she had to talk about today. So I just mirrored her. So it's NLP stuff that helps me get her to talk about what she needed to talk about.
Yeah.
And it worked. And then I realized that she was mirroring me, and I thought, right, I can stop doing that now because she's in the zone, as it were.
Yeah. So you mentioned being a nanny and stuff. So I'm interested to hear more about your business, who you're working with, and how you're helping them. If you could let us know about that.
Well, I seem to have sort of women between 50 and 60 that seem to be the ones that are coming to me, as opposed to me trying to find them. I wanted to talk with people with children, listen to children, but that's quite hard to get into. And I've just found that, as I say, middle-aged women between 50 and 60, sort of almost that transitional age of sort of kids have all left home, but I'm still in work, and what do I do? And kind of situation. Yeah. They seem to be the ones that are picking up the phone and essentially it doesn't matter who they are or what they are. It's whoever you talk to.
Yeah,
you can help in some shape or form.
Yeah. Well, I found that lately too. Like virtually everybody I talk to, or my wife will come home and talk about her day at work, and I'll be like, "That's a coach. That's a potential coaching client there. That's a potential coaching client there." Because literally, it's so universal. It could help virtually everybody with everything that's going on in their life, good, bad, or ugly. So,
Yeah.
Do you have any examples you could share about a client you helped, or how you use 3Ps to kind of help people find their insights? And
well, yes and no, really. Yes, I can. But I can't. I tend to kind of forget about what's actually happened in the session once it's been done.
Right.
I've definitely seen, and you'll know this, Greg, the insight face, when suddenly somebody has an insight and they sort of go, "Oh, yeah," and you just kind of let them wallow in that a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's all about for me, it's just getting people not to I can't think of the word, to dwell on things that happened. Bad things happen to everybody. And the people that can cope and move on and don't dwell on those things is so much better than have such a better life than the people who hold on to that large glass of water forever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that story about if you can hold on to a glass of water for a few minutes, it's not a problem. If you hold on to it for sort of the next hour and you're holding it like this, or I've got a coffee cup here, if I held on to that for ages, it would start to feel really, really heavy. Well, imagine trying to hold on to that for a year or so. It'd be almost impossible. It just gets heavier and heavier and heavier. So that's one of my analogies that I use quite a lot. That one.
Yeah. What is I don't know, the experience I've had both personally being coached and help coaching others is the simplicity of, and if you take that metaphor, like you can just put the glass of water down. You don't have to actually like hold on to it. Like it's that simple.
It is really that simple. Yes, exactly. You wouldn't choose to hold on to that glass of water, would you? Well, why are you holding on to your thoughts? It's if you can't put your hands on it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. What's funny, I just finished 2 books on Audible. Jack Pransky's "They Should Have Told Us," I think it's called, and then "The Enlightened Gardener" by Sydney Banks.
Right, yes.
And I don't know, it was just I'm happy that I went through those books now after going through the course with Jamie and stuff, because I don't think I wouldn't have got it if I'd been gone through that before, spending time with Jamie and all you peer coaches and getting my grounding kind of deeper and so on. So it's it's been a real journey for me. The last, like, my life is so different now than it was 4 months ago. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, me too. It does. It just changes your life, kind of almost overnight. It's sort of, you just start to look at things totally differently, and you interact with other people so differently, and less bothers you. Things still bother you. You still get angry. You still get teased off about things or whatever. But you just go, wow.
Yeah, my road rage is down about 50%.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Not that you could have been that bad anyway.
No, I know. If there was one thing you would want people to know, what would that be?
That I think that that you don't that happiness isn't a destination. It's all about everyday steps and journey. It's not about getting there. You don't have to get there to be happy. You can just be happy, and everybody's happy inside you know, it's everybody has that innate ability to be happy.
I like that.
Just like you've got a nose on your face.
Yeah. I was golfing with a friend of mine last week, and I was sharing some of this stuff with him. I said, you're already happy. You just forget sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, the main thing is so simple. It is the simplest thing. And I speak to coaches that don't work with 3 principles, and it also seems so complicated, which is like, well, you know, diagrams for this and diagrams for that, and how to get from A to B and stuff. And it's like, stop thinking about it so much.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
So it's interesting how simple it really could be, or or it is really, once you realize it.
Yeah. Well, I did say to a client that it's just a conversation. And she actually said, yeah, but it's not just a conversation, is it? And that felt really good, that's how she felt about it.
Yeah.
To me, it's just a conversation. It's just no different to me talking to the butcher or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's obviously impacting people, and that so much, well, particularly with this young lady, or not so young, she sort of said, no, it's not just a conversation, is it, Helen? I was like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
But it is simple.
Yeah.
It is so simple.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like for some reason, people, when you say simple, they don't equate simple to being capable of being powerful, but it is, right? Like it doesn't, to be powerful, it has to be big and it has to be complicated. It's like, no, that's not how it has to be at all.
No, exactly. It doesn't. Cool. It doesn't. And it just doesn't, it doesn't need to be, as you say, big and complicated. Because to me, if I was going to have coaching, certainly before I knew this, I would be scared off by the thought of it being big and showy and complicated, because that's not how I would want it. But it's not. It's simple and easy, and sit down with a coffee and let's just have a chat.
Yeah. Sit down for a coffee and change your life.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, if people are interested in getting in touch with you or learning more about Helen Makepeace, where do they go to find out more about you?
Well, I don't have a website because I've never done one. I am on Facebook, Helen Makepeace -coach, and I'm available on there. And I have a group called The Listening Rabbit, which is from a story about a little boy that has his whole world smashed apart. Fabulous little story. And everybody just keeps coming in, and sort of different animals are coming in and saying, I should be angry, you should be angry about that, and you should bury your head in the sand and ignore it, and all these various, go and shout about it, and what have you, go and wreck somebody else's life. And then the rabbit just listens. So I have a rabbit that I take with me. Soft rabbit, it's not a real one, and it's for people to talk to. And if people want to talk to the rabbit, then they can talk to the rabbit instead of me.
Yeah.
And the rabbit listens. The rabbit is very good because it has very big ears.
Very cool.
So that's my group on Facebook.
Nice.
Well, it was lovely talking to you, Greg.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right.
Have a great day.
Talk to you again.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.